The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
The big beautiful bill just passed in the Senate as the House is now on the clock. That bill is said to have many benefits. One of them is giving out thousands of dollars to Social Security recipients. The deadly ambush in Idaho leaves more questions than answers, and legacy media just took a huge loss as they have to pay President Trump millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit.
President Trump's so-called big beautiful bill passed through the Senate today, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote.
The spending and tax cut bill increases funding for the border, fulfills campaign promises like no taxes on tips or overtime, and includes roughly $4 trillion in tax cuts.
President Trump's big beautiful bill is one step closer to becoming law. This 900-page package aims to extend the 2017 Trump tax cuts, making them permanent, plus new deductions for overtime, tips, and even car loans. It also boosts military and border funding while trimming Medicaid and SNAP to offset costs. And there seems to be some good news for those on Social Security. Some Americans ages 65 and over could see additional tax relief. That is, if this becomes a law. Now, there's two versions of the bill right now. There's one from the Senate and the House. Now, we're going to be calling this a senior bonus. Again, it's going to be dependent on which one will actually pass. The Senate bill says that the deduction amount should be up to $6,000 per eligible taxpayer. Meanwhile, the House's One Big Beautiful Bill Act calls for $4,000 per eligible individual. Proposals show that the new additional temporary deduction would be in effect from 2025 through 2028. Eligible taxpayers would get the full deduction if their modified adjusted gross income is up to $75,000 if single, or $150,000 if married and filing taxes jointly. I do have to note that while the White House says that this is a package that, quote, slashes taxes on Social Security, unquote, it does not really end the taxation of Social Security benefits. Now, the Senate only passed it with the help of Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tiebreaker. There are only 3 Republicans who opposed it, with notable defenders including Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. House Republicans are split. The Freedom Caucus members say that the deficit increases by $3.3 trillion. Some prefer the original $2.4 trillion version of the bill. Speaker Mike Johnson faces a lot of pressure with this one, with President Trump setting a July 4th deadline. Moving on, investigations are still going on with the deadly firefighter ambush in Idaho, where we still don't know why the suspect, Wes Rowley, allegedly instigated the attack.
An active shooter at a fire. There's potentially 2 battalion chiefs down. They're shot. There's BC3's down. BC1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here. Then immediately up here, we've got 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs, gunshot wounds, multiple gunshot wounds.
The horrific ordeal ended about 5 hours later when SWAT teams discovered the lifeless body of the shooter next to his firearm on a popular tourist trail, according to police. On June 30th, the shooter was ID'd by police as Wes Rowley. It was confirmed that a Coeur d'Alene firefighter and a Kootenai County Fire and Rescue member lost their lives in the sudden strike, while a third firefighter was left fighting for life after surgery, but is now in stable condition. While police have yet to release any conclusions on Rowley's motive, internet sleuths discovered a shocking coincidence concerning the town's fire department. The deadly incident occurred 24 years to the day of the deliberate burning of the headquarters of the far-right Aryan Nations group in Hayden Lake, just 7 miles from Coeur d'Alene. Aryan Nation leader Richard Butler was forced to sell the site in a bankruptcy sale after being ordered to pay a Native American woman $6.3 million as part of a lawsuit, after the hate group's security guards had opened fire at the woman, Victoria Keenan, when she stepped outside the building with her son in 1998. Keenan bought the dilapidated compound for $95,000 and sold it to a local philanthropist who let the local Coeur d'Alene Fire Department burn it down as part of a training exercise. On June 28th and 29th of 2001, the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department conducted the training exercise, sending the compound into a furious blaze. Now, conspiracy theorists and locals are questioning whether Sunday's incident may have been a revenge attack for the fire department's deliberate burning down of the compound. So far, there is no indication that Rowley had any political motivations or ties to neo-Nazi groups.
CBS News parent Paramount Global has now agreed to pay $16 million to resolve a lawsuit filed by President Donald Trump. The highly controversial settlement payment was announced by Paramount just recently, and it includes plaintiffs' fees and costs. The amount will not be paid to President Trump directly, but instead will be allocated to his future presidential library. The settlement also doesn't include a statement of apology or regret.
Well, there was something else that happened yesterday that we haven't mentioned yet, and that is that CBS News agreed to pay a settlement to President Trump after this. This is from Paramount Global, right? Then they have a merger that they want to get through in front of the federal government. Might have led to this settlement. It says that the company has agreed that in the future, 60 Minutes will release transcripts of interviews with eligible U.S. presidential candidates after such interviews have aired, subject to redactions as required for legal or national security concerns, because this had to deal with Kamala Harris's interview with 60 Minutes, and if they edited it.
A spokesman for Trump's legal team celebrated, saying that with this record settlement, President Donald J. Trump delivers another win for the American people as he once again holds the fake news media accountable for their wrongdoing and deceit. CBS and Paramount Global realized the strength of this historic case and had no choice but to settle. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. Also, here's a question for you. Do you support the big beautiful bill? And what are your thoughts on legacy media having to pay President Trump for fake news? As always, thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.